Viewers, the Colonel speaking to you live from what's left of the Orangery at the Price Secretary for British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. Now, my builders have just pushed off for lunch, and even I can't shout at them during their lunch hour. Or hopefully less. I'm not a martinet, although I do know a few girls who are. And I thought I'd take the opportunity to discuss a few very rare records with you. I know I say that quite a lot. Here we go. Oh, it's quite obvious. You can read, can't you, viewers, hopefully? Disque Pathe. And there you go, gold label. It's an early one. In fact, it's one of the first, 1906. I'm going to glue this sleeve back together soon. And there it is. It's the typical impress title there, just with a gold, well, spray painted label on there by the look of it. That's all it is. It's not a real label. This is 4991 Guillaume Tell Overture, Premiere Partie, not even Part 2, because on the other side it's something worth looking at. Let's turn it over properly. There it is. Isn't that absolutely glorious? Wonderful, 90 to 100 RPM. Now this was made 1906, and you see, very thick record. These are described by so-called experts, who normally have very long noses and resemble the Marathon Soundbox advert rather peculiarly, as varnished. Well, not varnished at all. There is a clue in the thickness of the record. So what would Pathe have had to hand? Varnish or something a bit more obvious? And it's the obvious thing. Look at the edges there, that gives you a clue. Thickness of the record. This is cylinder material. The wax, so-called wax, they make cylinders from. And what they've had to do, because it has no strength of its own, not like shellac, they've had to lay it on a very thick composition base. I can't work out what the base is made from. It's not cardboard, it's heavy, but it's not metal covered with something, because it's not that heavy. So I assume it's some sort of composition material. Could be plaster, could be something similar, gesso perhaps, I don't know really. Which reminds me, look at the surface, the crackle here, looks like an old master. There's a reason for that. Well, pictures used to be varnished with a distillation from bitumen, or a nice shiny varnish, and Victorian painters were notorious for mixing that varnishing with the paint to make it dry quicker. Because paintings take a long time to dry. People don't realise that. You know, an artist couldn't paint a picture and then flog it. Not an oil painting anyway. They had to wait several years for it to dry properly, and even then it wouldn't only be surface dry. So they used to mix varnish in. Unfortunately, it not only turns the pictures black, but it gives them horrible cracklier, because the varnish reverts to its original type and goes black as bitch, which is what it's distilled from, as I say, and ends up shrinking, so you end up with the surface like this. Now I'm going to try and restore this, and it's not mine, it was lent to me by the squire, as I say. Very nice it is too. So it may just be playable. Have to be a bit careful though. Not the most exciting tune in the world. It's hardly Victor Kapoor, is it? But never mind. Should be able to do something with it though. I think I'll use wax though. But a very fine and very rare thing. What happens to them these days? Do people play them? Well, no. They do. They look at that side and then hang it up on the wall or frame it. Isn't that delightful and glorious? Wonderful things. But as I say, 1906, very first Pathe Disque. Quite a rare thing. I forgot to ask the squire how much he paid for it, but I don't imagine they were cheap. Used to sell for about 150, 200 quid. They're not common, as I say, because, you know, the surface deteriorates as it has here, and then if it gets slightly damp it flakes off. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something from it. I didn't, but there you go. Thank you, viewers, and goodbye.